Hello everybody, it's Dr. Zaino for 15-Minute Fuel with Dr. Zaino. Today, I'm going to wait a little bit till you guys get online, so I'll just start doing some announcements. Well, first of all, if you have not gone, hey babe, my wife's on first, of course. If you have not went on and subscribed or joined the Dr. Zaino fan page, please do that so I can really connect with you guys. My personal one is maxed out at 5,000. I want to thank every single one of you watching today. Hey, Sean, good to see you, bud. I want to thank every single one of you that we have almost reached 10,000 views since Monday, since we started doing it. So you're making an impact. You're helping so many people. Thank you for the shares. So if you're watching right now, please let me know where you're from. So Sean's on, my wife Whitney's on. But just say hello for me. And when you say hello, let me know that you're there. Hit the like button. Please hit the share button. Also, place a comment below. When you write those comments, I'll be able to answer them for you today, or I'll make a show out of it later on. So make sure you do those comments, like, share, and we're going to have a good time. So I'm going to go over 2 questions today, and so here's the questions, how they went. The first one, hey Gil, good to see you, Pastor Gil. The first question, Christy, and Dr. Christy had wrote, and we know Dr. Christy, she's wonderful, and she wanted me to go over how to get the abundant mindset. So before I talk, and I know a lot of you guys want to hear the exercise and nutrition stuff, but it always for me, and it's always going to be for you, it's going to start here. So if it's not here first, the doing is not going to happen or stick. So let's talk about, so Dr. Zaino, how do you achieve that abundant mindset? So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to give you a perspective shift for you to realize that the abundant mindset is the actual reality of life. And what you are living in, the scarcity mindset, is a false negative belief system. All right? For instance, the universe is always expanding. Since that day when God said, let there be life, that universe started, and the universe expands like this. It's always expanding. So you guys, if you want to go look at all the quantum physics stuff, they say that the universe is constantly expanding. Watch that. So put that in the back of your head. Number 2. Look around you. Look at nature. Let nature be your guide about whether you should have abundant mindset or a scarcity mindset. When I go outside and see the trees, how many trees are there? As many as there could be. How much grass is on the ground? As many as there could be. Right? If I went to the beach, let's say you and I went to the beach, how much sand is there? Abundance, as much as you could possibly have. If I took a cup, an 8-ounce cup, and a bucket, and I scooped the ocean into that bucket, how many buckets of water could I get? As many as I could possibly ever want. So you see, you have to understand the personality of the universe itself is abundant. The universe doesn't contract, it only expands. You follow what I'm saying? So write that down. The universe doesn't contract, it only expands. So what I'm trying to tell you is this. If you live in scarcity, if you're contracting, if you're worrying, you are literally going against the natural flow of the universe itself. And if you're going against the massive trajectory of the universe, you're going to probably lose. That's why being scarcity, holding back, contracting, not living your life, not being abundant, not giving out of your abundance, not doing your goals and your dreams and passion, that's why it never benefits you. For the Christians out there, I'll do the Bible thing with you too, and I'm just an amateur at this stuff, but let's go to the parable of the sower. So the parable of the sower is this. The owner gave them different talents, so the talents could be whatever you want. That could be money, that could be gifts, that could be responsibilities. And out of the 3 people who got the talents, 1 buried it, scarcity, contracting. 1 took it, invested it. The 3rd invested it, multiplied it even more. The last 2 got rewarded. The first one that buried it, contracted it, stayed scarcity, was literally ridiculed and almost cursed out and thrown out. In fact, what that person had, that first one to get the talent that they buried, it was taken away from him. So if that parable that they like to talk about in church all the time, if that was true then, why isn't it true today? But isn't that what you're doing? And when we're on the subject of religion, let me explain that I see Christians, they tend to hide behind or enable themselves to stay scarce, not all of them, of course, but a lot of them, because they hyper-spiritualize things. They blame the circumstances. They say the devil's attacking me and the circumstances are this and that. But in reality, what they're doing is they're just enabling themselves to not take responsibility over their life, to choose to be abundant. My patient, hey Ed, good to see you. My brother's on. Hey Michelle, Michael, sorry about that. Guys, hit the like button, hit the share. We're getting good. We're talking about abundant mindset. Why the abundant mindset God wired in your DNA. Scarcity, contracting, and fear. That is not of you. That is a false belief system that media and living in society has falsely given you. If we were to take off the lenses and see reality of life, life is abundant. The universe is expanding. So we are actually, you're living a lie if you're thinking, I got to contract, I'm scared, I don't have enough. It's not there. Don't blame the circumstances. Jim Rohn used to say, don't blame the soil, the sun, the clouds, the water. Don't blame the land. Because if you blame your circumstances, what else do you got? So we can't blame the circumstances. We have to take full responsibility. Yes, the devil is a liar. I get it. But you need to do your work as well. So don't hide behind things, enabling yourself to stay in a scarcity mentality. One of my patients, hey Dr. Jeff, please hit the like, please share. One of my patients, perfect story to show you abundance. One of my patients came to me and says, Dr. Zaino, I have a tangerine tree. And my wife, Whitney, and I, we have citrus trees as well, but we just planted them, so we might get like 2 or 3 lemons or limes. We're not killing it when it comes to the citrus department. But the gardener says, listen, you got to give it time, but it'll start to pick up. So I have a patient who has a tangerine tree, and he goes, listen, I had it for a while, probably, almost 10 years. Do you mind if I bring some in for the patients? And we're like, sure, thinking that he'll just bring a little basket of extra ones. He says, I have more than I could ever need. I want to bring some in. Sure. He brings in 5 black garbage bags full of tangerines, probably 1,000 tangerines. And he says, oh, I got a ton more on my tree. It was insane, the abundance property of what real life's about. So this tangerine tree, just like my wife and I's citrus trees, they're not really killing it right now or crushing it. But guess what? In 5 years from now, with patience and allowing things to mature, we could give all our neighbors lemons and citrus. I could send them to my mom. I could send them to my brother Eddie. We will never run out. And that's the reality of life. So if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling scared, if you say, Dr. Z, how do you get your abundant mentality? My abundance mindset is because I took a step back and saw what God created and I'm going to go by what he did. That's the truth versus the media and all this other stuff that is forcing you to become mediocre. You know what scarcity causes? Mediocrity, and that's not going to help. So let me explain the concept of fear and faith. Watch this. So if you're scarce, if you don't have an abundant mindset, the reason why is fear. Now, what is fear? Fear is what? You're worried about something that did not happen yet, correct? Something that didn't happen. You're worried about it. It hasn't happened yet. So it's this thought process of worrying about something that didn't even happen. What is faith? Faith is you're thinking about something optimistically or hopefully that what? Hasn't happened yet. So am I correct by saying both fear and faith is a thought process that you're thinking about things that are not happening or didn't happen yet, right? So it takes the same amount of energy to think bad thoughts and worry about stuff as it does the same amount of energy to think positive things. This is not just actually to think hopefully and optimistically on things that are good that are going to happen. So faith and fear, it's the same amount of time, it's the same amount of energy, but it's putting it in the different ways. What's this telling you? So the only way you get into abundance, it's literally a split-second decision to say, am I going to believe the media? Am I going to believe the negativity that I surround myself around? Am I going to believe the 5 people I hang out with that are living paycheck to paycheck? Or am I going to reach out, hang around the right people, start listening to the right messages, putting the right stuff in my eyes and my ears? And am I going to use my own eyes? Am I going to look at the sky? Am I going to look at the stars? Am I going to look at the ocean? Am I going to look at the sand? Am I going to look at the trees? Am I going to look at the tangerine tree and say, God is an abundant God. He created the universe and it's always expanding. If you see, just look and come on. Am I there? All right, good. We got it back. All right. Are we still live? Hey, give me a thumbs up if we're live. Give me a thumbs up if we're live, if you see me right now. All right, come on, come on. Like it if we're live. Nice, all right, good. So we're still live. I had a weak connection. All right, so hopefully we get the abundant mindset. So understand, being scarcity is due to fear. It's a lie. It's a 100% lie, because just the fact that you're a human being, you already won the game. So when it comes to that, understand that that's where you get the abundant mindset. It's, you know what it is? It's awareness. It's consciousness that, holy cow, I mean, we're on a planet that's spinning in a universe that's expanding, and God created us in his image. So just understand that. Media equals mediocrity. Thank you for sharing. You bet, Nick. So I'm going to go back and answer some questions here. Put your questions down. Please like. Let me see some likes. Show loving. You know what? You know, a hug. Let's look at it this way. I see likes as a hug. So when you like, you're hugging me. And then when you share it, it's like you're doing the fist bump. If you're guys, you're hugging me. If you're my wife, you're kissing me. There you go. So there you go. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Let me see. Jeff Stibe is on. Share, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you so much, Jeff. Michelle Dunn. Dr. God does not make junk. Love this. Absolutely. John. Awesome. Good to see you, Dr. John. Wanda. Ryan Douglas. Sean. Good to see you. Nick. All right. So now we're going to go into, so that's the mindset stuff. So hopefully you guys get that. You're not going to get it overnight. Are we going to get weak? Are we going to get scared and go back into scarcity? Absolutely. So remember, when it comes to money, because a lot of times people are scarce with money. Money, if you had a wad of money this big right now, if I gave you $1 million in cash right now, that money on paper is useless. What I mean by this, all it is potential. It's what that can do. And that's the thing. So, you know, if you're worried about, if you're scarce in an area of your life, understand the problem isn't the lack of money. The problem is lack of skills. So go out and learn skills. You could go to the library and for free, read books, get wisdom and knowledge, and bring more value to the workplace. So it's developing your skills, not changing your circumstances. Bring more skills, increase your value, and then more value to the workplace. That's going to solve that other problem. Hey, Juan, good to see you from Ecuador while in the gym. That's right. Mind and body right there. So 15-minute fuel is to fuel your mind, your body, and your future. Let's go to the second question. Oh, here, Ryan Douglas. I've been wondering how your joints feel doing bodybuilding. Ryan, I think this might be your question, because I was actually going to ask the next second question is joint health. So now I'm switching from mindset to health or joint health. So let's go over that question real quick. So it says, Dr. Z, I'd love to hear discuss joint pain, how you do that. Well, to have healthy, amazing joints, this is what you have to do. So I'm 40 years old, and my joints feel more amazing now than they did when I was in my 30s. So understand, I have a little bit of knowledge of joint health because adjusting thousands and thousands of patients a week over a long period of time, the micro trauma destroys joints. You know, micro trauma over time destroys things. I mean, I've broken all my Omni tables that have a lifetime frame on them. They have all broken. So I'm thinking, wow, I'm breaking tables that have a lifetime frame, and I'm breaking them, and I'm not proud of that, but I'm thinking that same force is going into my body. So how do I keep my body healthy? And no matter how good I eat, if you're wearing and tearing every single day, there's only so much the body could take. So the first thing you got to do is chiropractic care. Right? You have to do that. I have to make sure that the spinal joints are moving correctly and there's no interference in the nervous system. And another thing I use weekly, every single Wednesday, I go to a chiropractor that just focuses on Groston. So he does just soft tissue. So I have him do all the soft tissue. So one week he'll work on the pecs, the shoulders, the arms. The other week, my back, Groston, strip it out. It's not a massage, guys. You're bruised. And then the third week, it'll be all the legs, the wheels, and then I just rotate. I don't go there because I'm in pain. I just do that. Like for chiropractic, I want to make sure that everything is moving correctly. So chiropractic and Groston technique, that's the thing that I do for that. Number two, for joints, you want to eat a low-carb diet, low-carb, high healthy fat. Why? Because when your carbs are low, it's going to lower inflammation, number one. And number two, when you're eating good, healthy, amazing fats, that's also going to lower inflammation and help keep lubrication of the joints. So low-carb, high healthy fats. When I have my vacation meals and I eat a lot of carbs, second day, my joints are stiff. I know it immediately. So that's the way we're able to do it. Hey, Dr. Joel, good to see you. All right, number three, water and sea salt. I'm a high believer. I put sea salt in all my water and on my foods because number one, sea salt's going to help hydrate the disc in the spine, right? And also it keeps your muscles hydrated. You want hydration, because if you're bending over tables like I am or doing micro wear and tear, you want to make sure your body's hydrated. Gut health's very important. Why? Because you're talking about inflammation. So if your gut's a wreck because you're eating, disgusting processed foods, or it's not healthy, what's going to happen is it's going to cause inflammation for the rest of the body. So gut health, every meal that I do, I have some type of real probiotic. What I mean by real, some type of sauerkraut that's real, it's not a pill, and then that with some type of bone broth or collagen supplement, collagen powder. And I do that every meal because that's going to help gut health. Collagen and bone broth protein, I do that as well. Josh Axe has that. I'll post the link below in the replay. And when you do exercise, you want to use full range of motion. None of these little half reps. That's going to destroy you. Because when I'm adjusting, I'm doing the same plane of motion over and over. You have to use full range of motion, proper controlled, intentional training. We talked about the other day, when you do lift weights, it's not about how heavy you lift. It's about mind-body connection, right? So you lower the weight, 4 seconds down, pause it, push it back up. 4 seconds down, pause it, push it back up. Use the lightest weights possible to get the most effect out of everything. And then my wife loves yoga. I'm not into yoga right now, but I think yoga would be amazing, hot yoga, to strengthen your joints and stability. So that's when it would come to joint issues right there. So any questions right now, everybody hit the like button, hit the like, and hit the share. So let's see some likes and love. Remember, liking me is loving me, and sharing it is like fist bumps and hugs. So is anybody out there? Come on. There you go. All right. Thanks, guys. So let's answer some questions right now before we close. Any questions you want, I'll be able to do it. Questions need to deal with health, mindset, or business, and I'll answer them for you. If you enjoyed the mindset stuff, let me know, or any questions when it comes to health. Let me see. Let's go back and see if we have any questions. All right, Ryan, just let me know if that answered your question. Thanks, guys, for liking. Josh, good to see you. Dr. Joel, definitely one of the mentors in there. Hey, Joel, come on. Give me something to talk about. Joel's great. He's a very powerful chiropractor in Naples, Florida. And so once again, guys, thank you so much that because of you, we're getting constantly 2,000 to 3,000 views on these 15-minute fuels. I know they're a little bit over 15 minutes, but you get me going. And you're really making a huge impact. And that is just my purpose now. I've dedicated to doing this every single day for as long as it's going to take. I committed to it. I'm going to do it, and we're figuring it out. We get better and better each time. So in review, abundant mindset is what? Remember, hey, Dr. Joel, how to stay mentally tough over a career. All right, so Dr. Joel, you came in a little bit late, but I'll go over this. Mentally tough over the career. Yesterday, Dr. J, we were talking about our drive, and Dr. Joel, he's one of the most amazing guys. I remember, in fact, let me tell you a story about Dr. Joel. When I first saw Dr. Joel speak on stage, my son Justice was probably 2 or 3 years old, and I remember looking at my wife, and I said, and I mean this still today, I hope someday my son is just like him, because he was so powerful. And he was, Dr. Joel was adjusted since birth, and just such a powerful person. Saving Canada back then. And it's just so, how to stay mentally strong. It's because, Dr. J, your drive comes from your why. We talked about your why yesterday, as that everybody states their why, but it's not deep enough. Why? I want to help people. That's not deep enough, man. Well, why do you want to help people? Because I want to see them live better lives. Why do you want to see them live better lives? Because I want them to be a full expression of what God created them to be. Why do you want to make them a full expression of what God created you to be? So they can live the life we're created to live. Why do you want them to live the life they were created to live? So they could, and then you hit that point, because it's all the head. And then at a certain time, when you ask that why over and over again, there comes this deep heart reason. And I found out that when it comes to your why, that builds your drive and keeps you mentally strong, it's because deep down, your real why is not a selfless thing. Your deepest why is actually a true, healthy, selfish thing. So for me, when I went down my whys, helping people, serving God, living better lives, releasing them from the mediocrity of society, the reason why I wanted to do it, and I embraced it, and it changed my life, is because I want to be a hero. That's why. And what is a hero? It is someone who is admired for their achievements, their nobility, and their contribution to society. I do what I do, Dr. Joel, and you do what you do, and everybody on this line, you do what you do, because deep down inside, whether you want to admit it or not, deep down, just think when you were a child, or you see your kids run around in their superhero costumes. God placed in our DNA, in our culture, in that RNA and DNA, the desire to be a hero. And that's my act 3. If you're wondering, what's my act 3? I'm a chiropractor, but you're going to see my goal is to connect and reunite you to your hero, to allow you to be okay with that, to embrace it, and to not worry about the mediocre society telling you what to do, to embrace, say, listen, you know what? I want to help people's lives. I want to be a hero. I would like recognition. I would like to be admired. I want to contribute. I want to have massive achievements in my life and for my family, and I want to be noble in doing it. And the only difference between a hero and a villain is this. Because does a drug dealer achieve? Yes. Do they contribute? Yes. But the difference between a hero and a villain is the nobility. The villain doesn't care about nobility, but a hero does. And the only reason why they don't care is because there was someone, they didn't have that person in their life to keep them on track, to say, you know, the nobility in the long run always wins the game. So let's see, we got some questions, Brett. If you're liking this, hit the like. Hit the like, hit the share. You always get me crying in all these. Dr. J, oh, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. All right, Brett, you said, have you read Outwitting the Devil? It would be worth talking about. Hypnotic Rhythm. Oh, the Napoleon Hill's book. It's in my queue. It's in my queue. I keep a queue of all these books. In fact, this weekend, for my what I'm going to do on the weekend, instead of doing these Facebook Lives in my studio here, I'm actually going to do a kind of like in the life type of deal. So I'll take you in my office Saturday, and I'll show you all my books. The reason why I'm a high-spirited, minded, perfectionist, leader, millionaire is because of my library. 3% of Americans open a book per year. Not many of them finish it, but if you understood the wisdom, everything you need to know in life, someone else wrote in there, and it's sitting in a book somewhere. So I'll go over that with you guys. Tomorrow we get a special show. My wife Whitney's going to be on there, and this is where we're going to talk. We're going to bring in the family aspect of it. People have been asking how you balance family at home. How do you keep love in the house? It's probably the toughest thing I do, and she'll tell you, you know, that I fail or I fall short quite a bit of times. How do we do that? And then a lot of questions that you guys wrote were about children and all this other stuff. So I'll make sure my wife Whitney's on there. So we'll be live tomorrow, Friday at around 2-ish. So we'll see you guys there. Please share this, like it. Go to the Dr. Zaino fan page. I want to be able to connect to you guys, but I can't because the other one's filled. And let's make an impact together. Share this once again. All your comments, if you're watching this, I'll always answer your comments. Every single one I answer, no matter what it takes. And I'll see you guys soon. Have an amazing day. We'll see you soon. God bless.